really,
Not believe. All right, guys. So thank you guys for watching. You guys are awesome. They didn't, like you said, I didn't have to relocate.
and then you have to scroll down just to see other people like, oh, this is really bad.
You know it. You can barely even have my grandkids. I'm just like,
Yeah. Or your shit was banging so good, they'll say, hey,
not worth $10. TV, we are back. Oh my god, what the hell? Jesus Christ, check it out. Oh, look at, yeah, in the studio today. This is episode 184. We're doing it on the Lord's Day, Sunday. We should have done it on Monday, but we're doing it on Sunday. Anyways, a few shout outs to my sponsors. Give it up for Gatorade. I've been sponsored by Gatorade for over 7 years now. That's awesome. Gatorade has always been a great sponsor. Remember, electrolytes quench your thirst, and thirst quenches electrolytes.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
This wasn't me. It's just written down. Okay. Today in the studio we have my friend, your friend, everyone's friend, Candy.
I already sound like a stripper. I already sound like I would take pay for sex.
Her name is Dulci, everybody, and she's super sweet, and she's nice, and she's awesome, and she like was being super sweet to me, and then she's like, I'll fist anybody. I was just like, what the heck? I've got it turned on. Anyways, Dulci, thank you very much for joining.
I would just like everybody to know that we are running off of 3 hours of sleep.
I'm not running off of 3 hours sleep. I slept a good 8 hours in my own bed by myself, with 6 covers, a pillow in between my legs the whole time.
It's a pregnancy pillow. He's got problems.
I do.
He's got
really
hemorrhoids.
Cramps so bad. Wasn't it? I had you like elbowing my back because I had so much back problems. You're just like, I know how to do this elbow technique, and I'm just like, okay.
Well, when you're working corners for a living, you're on your knees a lot, and it makes some.
I'm just kidding. I knew you were gonna do that. I knew it. I was like,
it just makes back problems. Okay, so
that makes sense.
Just be sympathetic to me.
It's always the worst too, because most of my back problems come from my guitar. So
I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have guessed being the twink on the bottom.
Yeah, you would have been like, it's because you're taking too much power, aren't you?
But that's what I would have guessed. But.
Anyways, when I play guitar, when I first started to play, I put it on like my knee, and like it's rests right here, so I'm slouched over. Like I was not supposed to be playing. The proper way to do it is to put the guitar in between your legs.
Oh, I've heard that one before.
Yeah, and you sit up straight,
Ooh.
Nice and straight. You firmly grab it to your body,
Ooh.
and then you slowly strum the G string. Slowly, but then you get motion, and then you'll get what you're doing. See, this is not turning into this podcast just went way south. We're just like, hey, let's have a podcast, and then we're just like, now we're just having sexual innuendos this whole time.
Yeah, but I mean, that's my life. That's what I like my life to be surrounded by.
Nice.
Sexual innuendos. I feel like it's a great way of communication, and also how to get raped. But I mean, like, that only happens occasionally. I only take it too seriously very occasionally. The
thoughts and processes that are actually been told on MuseMeTV are not the thoughts of MuseMeTV production, okay? Just so you guys know, we don't condone all of this all the time. If it's a joke, it's funny. If it isn't, move on. Disclaimer.
Nobody told me there was like something I couldn't say.
Oh no, this is the internet. Like,
so
I mean, technically you could say whatever you want until like the oligarchies, like fucking YouTube and stuff, are just like, I think I've had enough of this, and now
and then give you no reason why.
Yeah, well, I'm not that big though, so they're not gonna cancel me.
But Gatorade will.
Gatorade has been like, but they've been a sponsor since the beginning.
Really?
Yeah. So right when I started this podcast, I was like,
they're like betting on anyone these days, huh?
They really are.
They're like, oh, we're gonna be here from the start.
They even do DraftKings. They're like, what color of Gatorade are they gonna pour on the coach? Bet this week. And they have to bet, and I was like, I don't know, whoever is gonna win this one.
So I went to this day spa, and it was on Super Bowl Sunday, so I missed the end of the game, which was really sucked. But
it kind of did. It's not. It wasn't worth it. Who won? Chargers won, right? Yeah, Chargers won.
LA, they got the beach, beautiful people, and now a Super Bowl ring.
Yep.
Life is unfair.
I love how they do that too. They're just like, we suck everywhere else. Let's just transfer our team to California and we'll do it there, which is horrible. But then that's basketball, same thing too. Like LeBron James doesn't go to a state to make a champion that state. He just goes to make himself a champion. That makes sense. Makes perfect sense. We'll be back with these messages. Just kidding. I never have any messages. We were talking about. Well, we were talking a little bit about comedy. Well, mostly that's what we do talk about is comedy, and then other stuff in between. Hint, hint. But the best part about the comedy stuff,
in between those butt cheeks, man.
them little butt cheeks. Oh, little butt. It's like a pancake mix. It's like little empanaditas.
What is that?
You don't know what an empanadita is?
No.
It's like
I know what an empanada is.
That's like it. That's like it.
Yeah.
But instead of you like put, well, you could put fruit in it, and it sounds cuter. Empanadita sounds cuter than an empanada.
I agree.
So
I agree.
So
rolls off the tongue.
my butt is an empanadita,
I could see that.
but your butt is an empanada.
There we go.
Yeah, sorry. I speak so much Spanish, I can't even fucking get these terms out correctly. Jesus Christ.
So what about comedy? That we brought up white power last night.
That was
at
cool.
The garage,
that was funny.
And everybody got like kind of weirded out, but it made sense.
Not everybody got weirded out.
I don't know. I got a couple looks because I'm the one that said it. So.
But I think in a sense, like they just shock value.
Oh, for sure.
That's what that was. Like there's like.
And I wasn't on stage, so I really shouldn't have said anything. But it's the garage. Fuck it, dude.
Yeah, I mean that's what the whole point of that is supposed to be. Like if you really get hurt of something that's said in there, then maybe you shouldn't come to the garage.
And I love that. Because I say really inappropriate things, and I'm pretty emotionally abusive, so
She really is, people.
I really just like need people who can
Just
deal
take
with
it.
that.
Just take it. Yeah. Just like
that dick.
shoot me all the time with your fucking emotional bullets.
It's terrible.
Because I got a bulletproof vest called love. So I'm ready.
I mean, it's like we're all like fucked up and traumatized, and I think like most people's childhood was like their family making fun of some aspect of them.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know if you're not raised in a family that like treats you like the butt of a joke like every once in a while. Like I feel like you don't build up that desensitization like to life in general, because like you will be disappointed, you will fail. Like it's just getting you ready.
Yeah.
I think it's perfectly fine
Do you
to
think
raise kids like that.
So do you think that's why kind of like society is kind of wishy-washy about those things now? Like, okay, there's people that have never lost a competition in their life, so when they do lose in their 20s, it's like devastating. Not only is it devastating, it's like
They will commit suicide.
or just totally change their whole persona. The whole persona of life.
Yeah. You have to, like, kids have to be vicious to you when you're small. Like, you have to know that you're a piece of shit so you can take jokes and not have a big ego about it. It's humbling.
Tell me more. Who else is humbling? Who else needs to get fucking hit? I get it. I mean, it's weird though to think that way, because then you obviously end up building people that are just like, why should people have this kind of negativity in society then? How is a development society, a peaceful development society, able to do that if there's negativity?
You know, I don't want to talk about this until, like, therapy is free and, like, given to anybody and everybody.
BetterHelp.com.
I don't like them. So I did use them.
Okay, how did that go?
Okay, so I got 3 different therapists, right? And they were just asking me about, like, my daily life. Like, how are you? What's going on? And I'll tell them, like, I went to work. I made money. I came home. I'm doing fine. And they're like, oh, that's good. And then they'd end the conversation there. I'm like, no, dude, I need you to take a backhoe and scrape the bottom of my childhood memories so you can dredge up all of that shit so I can work it out and de-repress it.
Yeah, why am I acting like this?
And I'm like, if you're gonna ask me like how I'm doing day to day, like I'm paying someone to talk to me about my problems. I'm doing fine. Like, I wouldn't be in therapy if I wasn't doing fine day to day. So I just, like, was a waste of money for me. Like, I need that dredging up of, like, childhood bullshit.
But you actually think you might need it to be brought forth by...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only way you're going to get over it.
I don't think that's the case.
And then, right? So we're talking about emotional abuse that is, like, kind of a part of my personality. Maybe it would disappear. Maybe I wouldn't feel like I had to do that. But also, like, being around comedians is just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, because it makes more of, like, this protective shell of your humorness. Like I can't just be talk shit to this whole time. Like, if
Absolutely.
Especially when you do come into the comedy community, it's just like no one is better than another person.
And that's what I love about this community is nobody's got an ego.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's so supportive.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I've never had this kind of support system in my life.
Right? Especially for someone that's new. Like,
Dude.
usually people that start something new are just, like, detached right away because there's not that support system, or just, like, they don't feel the camaraderie of, like, I'm trying a new thing and other people are trying it with me.
Right.
But comedy is a little different because even though there are other levels, like, some people are a little bit better than you, some people are worse than you. In the long run, when it comes to an open mic, we all start at the same level again. And then hey, he did good tonight. He did better. He did da-da-da. Tomorrow's a new day, all the same level again.
Yeah.
It's crazy how that works.
I can see that. Once you, like, you know, and I listen to Kill Tony, like, a lot, but they'll always tell you, like, go to every open mic all week long as much as you can just so you can, like, get comfortable on stage. And, like, now I'm realizing why that's so important is because you can actually interact and, like, make eye contact with the crowd.
Yeah.
And, like, not be afraid.
Yeah, not nervous.
Or, yeah. And, like, because when you're on stage, you kind of have to command, like, power of, like, the room, or that's what you're like trying to do anyway. You don't always get that, but I just feel like, you know, got to get up there, be confident, be comfortable. People think you're weak, they're going to take advantage of that and start fucking heckling you.
And that comes with practice. That's what's crazy about that. Like, we've talked about it before. Like, you can practice in front of your mirror all you want.
I think psychopaths do that, dude. I can't just, like, be in front of my mirror talking to myself. I'm like, I just have thoughts to do this. Like,
yeah, but you, like, the practice isn't the same until you actually get to it on stage. Like, you can, like you were saying too, you write down your jokes and stuff. Like, you can write them down to memorize them, but until you go up there and say, like, the vocal cues and the, like,
pauses certain places.
Yes, the pauses, the exaggeration of certain words and stuff like that, that all plays into account of why that joke does so good. And analyzing it and stuff too, that's always the hardest part. Is like, you do this a lot too. You're always like, this joke is funny. I know it's funny. And then we listen to it and it's just like,
there's no
is
punchline.
Is it funny though?
Punchline. Well, that's why I don't like practicing it in the mirror, because it's like, what if it's a waste of time? Like, I go and I find someone to, like, listen to it for me and tell me if I'm wasting my time on it. Like, that'll go to the back burner.
Yeah.
And then I can fucking, like, focus on something new that I just wrote, like, that day. But I like the feedback. It's really important to me. Like, just with one person.
No, yeah, it does help.
And then sometimes it just tears down everything you thought was funny.
Especially when, okay, that's the shitty part too, is like when you do have the feedback from that one person, but then you still take it on stage and it bombs, because then you're still kind of reevaluating, like, wait, then what the fuck does he think is funny then?
Right.
Because
a lot of the jokes that I write, I will get laughs out of comedians, and then I'll, like, tell a friend that I'm sitting down and, like, who are, like, listening to my jokes, and they'll be like, that's not really funny. And I'm like, yeah, but I got laughs. So I'm just thinking, like, maybe people are overthinking how much they need to put into a joke.
That makes sense too. Sometimes the most simplest jokes are the funniest.
But honestly, I have like an awkward voice, and I don't know if that's, like, playing into, like, the funny aspect of it.
I think that would help. It does probably help.
Yeah.
Like, enhance it
I got,
a little
like,
bit.
the most awkward voice given it out in the universe.
I can hear it all.
Yeah.
You know what it is? Integrity. And that's what you have. You're not afraid to show it. You're not afraid to give it, because where we come from, integrity is what life is.
Well, you know, I was raised, like, with a bunch of boys. Like, all of my cousins were boys, and I just feel like...
Are you an only child?
No, I'm not an only child.
Are you the youngest child?
No, I'm not.
You're in the middle?
Guess.
I just guessed the youngest and the middle.
No, I'm the second. And funny story, I have a sister that's only a month younger than me.
A month.
By a different woman.
Those are always
So-
fishy, right?
So fun.
You're just like,
So fun. We're Irish twins, and I met her when I was 21 again. I think we were like, as small children in San Diego, like around the age of 5, we like played with each other, but I just re-met her on a road trip up the East Coast. And she's like, I live in Richmond, Virginia. Come visit me. So I did.
nice.
And now we're like besties.
Oh, that wasn't who called, right?
No.
Oh.
No, that's my best friend in San Diego.
You have a lot of best friends. That's so cute. You have so many reliabilities. You're just like, oh my god.
Reliabilities? What are those?
You're just like, oh my god, San Francisco's not picking up. I'm gonna call my other friend, my other best friend in another state.
You know, actually, none of the people I know, like, that I met in San Francisco actually live in San Francisco anymore. They all
Really?
moved out.
They're just like, fuck this place.
I mean, the thing is you can't build a community where you, like, know you can't afford to live in the long run. I just feel like that's a waste of time. Like, that's honestly why I moved to Albuquerque, because it's like, I can buy property here for a reasonable amount of money.
Compared to other places.
Well, comparatively, like, specifically to California. I mean, it's insane. There's no way. Like, $500,000 will get you no land and, like, a 2-bedroom house with, like, 1 bathroom. Like, if you're lucky. Like, dude. No.
That's horrible.
No. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like you should live your life. Well, I mean, you know, in your early 20s, like, I liked traveling everywhere and around and seeing the country. You get, like, different cultural, like, influences, and you're like, I know I don't want to live in Indianapolis, Indiana for my entire life.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no way people could, I mean, the mental stability of some people is really impressive to me. Having nothing to do with like, in your area, like, no hikes, like, no beautiful mountain ranges,
Yeah.
no rivers. I mean, there's a lake, but it's like, how old are you until you can actually afford a boat to go on that lake? Like, I don't know. Seems like a lot of suicides. That's what I get from Indianapolis. I spent 1 summer there, and I almost committed suicide.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But then, I also moved to, I think in the same year, I moved to Phoenix, Arizona. And it was, like, kind of the same thing. They just didn't have a lot of, like, hiking that I'm used to in California, like forests.
Yeah. Well,
foraging,
yeah, obviously
like,
the desert area.
Yeah,
And
then
it's a city too, like the way that's designed too. It's like it's a very like awkward scenario where it's just like fuck, it's like so hot. This is in the middle of nowhere.
yeah.
And yet it's still overpopulated.
It's amazing actually how big Phoenix has grown. Like, insane. Also, property values, like, an acre of desert land with nothing on it is $8,000 outside of Phoenix. What?
You're just like, I don't want to.
Oh my god.
But see, that's what's crazy though too, is like so much of the land now is like divided in a way that it has to be sold off. Like,
So developers are ruining this country. I'm, like, convinced of it. They're, like, getting rid of the middle class's ability to build on property that they buy, because they buy up literally all of the property around the city, and they know once that city hits a population, they can start developing, and they'll have people to go into those houses.
yeah.
And so what you're looking at is, like, people who actually want to buy a piece of property and build their own house. You know, they're like, they have to move farther and farther out because that property is being like kind of just hoarded. And, like, I mean, they're making a ton of money, but
It's just for the next family to come in, pay the
Yeah.
mortgage, and then
and you get no land with it. You get, like, maybe 1/4 of an acre. You get, like, maybe a backyard. Like,
yeah,
that sounds like a terrible idea. And also you get an HOA, so you get to be told what color your mailbox can be.
I love how you're on that.
And it's,
so.
dude, it drives me nuts.
They're like, if I don't get a fucking turquoise mailbox, I'm gonna flip.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you're not going to give me, like, 3 colors I can paint my house. It's just not going to happen. But old people and their fucking property values, dude.
You want to know about them old folks? You know what it is?
Damn,
Integrity.
They tell you the same thing too.
They really will. They'll be like, us here in this part, we got a lot of integrity up here. Don't try to take that away from us. And it's just like, okay, sir, we're trying to develop a school for your kids. We don't need school. We got integrity. That's how stupid that word is. It works for everything.
It really does.
Integrity.
I love it.
So tell me more about yourself. From
Well,
California to Florida to Indianapolis to here. Where did all this moving come from?
You know what? My Sagittarius my moon is in Sagittarius. And apparently that's where I get my little gypsy life from.
Okay.
So it's like, I don't know. I've just always loved to go to new places. And like when you experience a new place that like takes your breath away, like Glacier, like in Montana, it's like now it's an adrenaline junkie sort of thing, that now you're like going to the next coolest place you can find. And I haven't been to Carlsbad Caverns yet, so I want to go there.
It's not that cool.
No.
I've been there, but it was like super, super long time ago. I don't know if you still can do a lot of the things that they used to do because of COVID, but it's pretty dope.
There's like guided tours, right?
Yeah, you take like an elevator shaft that goes like thousands.
Oh, that's not fucking sketchy.
It goes so deep, you're just like, what the fuck?
That's what she said.
And she was very pleased.
Mm-hmm.
Very pleased.
Mm-hmm.
She was like,
it's not always the length. It's sometimes.
Yeah. What did they say?
Of the ocean.
Yep, exactly.
That's the size of the boat.
No, or the tides or the rotation of the moon.
Honestly, I think it depends on like how much you have sex.
Really?
Because like once you have sex with one person like long enough, even if it isn't long enough, like
it ends up being long enough.
Right.
Well, I don't know if you've heard this, but isn't like this law of attraction that you kind of lose the attraction, so you have to find other attractiveness to that person? So like
that's so inspiring.
But it's true. It's like you obviously
really give me an example of this in your life.
In my life.
Yeah.
So I can see this being something where I know that I like somebody.
Yeah.
They're very attractive, and so I pursue that. It works. It ends up.
Dude, you want to know how I hit on men?
You do grab them by the dick and just be like,
you know what? You'd think so.
Yeah, let me just do a softball pitch with these two little balls.
You're actually pretty close. I actually just grab their ass and see the reaction.
Yep, see?
Yeah.
And then you're just like, fuck, there's nothing here.
And it's like, you can take your $1 an hour less. Like, I'll take the $1 an hour less just to be able to, like,
just
sexually harass men.
Just to do that.
I've never gotten in trouble.
Well, obviously not. Jesus. But it's going to turn into a thing. I mean, people every day are starting to play the gender role. You can't be committing the crime if you're not doing the crime.
So I've worked on a farm, a legal cannabis farm, and my manager, well, it's loosely legal, like to where it's like very early in its legal process.
It's like every state legalize it federally, still legal, illegal.
Well, they just don't have like that corporate like HR sort of deal going on. So like if you're the only girl on that farm, you're getting sexually harassed like all day long. Nothing you can do about it, but like honestly I like it. It's funny to me. Yeah. I just have a good sense of humor. Like, what can I say?
Yeah, and you kind of know your dominance, I feel. Like you know if you're getting like hit on or like somebody sexually harassing you, you kind of like, okay, this guy's harmless, fuck it. Or you're just like, you're a fucking pig, leave me alone. Like I'm pretty sure you know.
No, like I've never had that reaction of like, you're a fucking pig, like leave me alone. I've only had like, I'm gonna make this guy really uncomfortable with my sexual innuendos being like better than his. So I like one up them on sexual harassment. I like fight fire with fire.
Like dick jokes and stuff. Like dick jokes and stuff. What is this an example of this?
More like pegging them.
Sexual innuendo. Yeah, just right away off the bat. You're just like,
No,
I just got off the bus and then I'm just pegging people, showing dominance. I don't give a fuck who it is right now.
No, it builds up to that. You know, they'll make a comment about my ass or something like that. Then I'll be like, I'd like to get in that ass. Just make them super uncomfortable. Get that real good eye contact. Make it a little weird.
See, you're doing it again.
Yep.
You're doing it again.
That's how I fucking deal with it. And then then okay, so like we're harvesting and we've had a 10-hour day, and like my boss had given us our own like section that we were going to get as a bonus. So like all of the workers just for that came together, like, and we're harvesting our stuff. It's getting hella late, like 11 o'clock at night. We're fucking 6 beers in. Like, we're getting drunk. And I'm like asking my manager, I'm like, hey, can you grab me a beer? And I'm like, I've got my back turned, like hanging weed. And he comes over with my beer and just grabs my ass. And like, without thinking, I just like turned around and just clocked him right in the face. Because I'm like, obviously my boyfriend's not here, like, don't fucking touch me.
Yeah.
Like, you can say whatever you want all day long. Like,
That's the difference.
don't fucking touch me.
Yeah. You ask for a kiss. You don't take the kiss.
So it like escalated from there. He was like pissed that I punched him or whatever, but
Like, what the fuck?
I mean, he took it that pretty good, like chip off the old block. Like, he took it well. I think he knew he was in the wrong.
Okay.
But then we got done, and you wear gloves while you're harvesting, and he takes off his, I'm just like, we just got done, 14-hour day, I'm tired, I'm irritated, like,
It's been a long one.
but I'm drunk, like, whatever, I'm still being, like, fun, and I'm just standing there, like, looking at all of our hard work, like, admiring it, and he's, like, right next to me, and he takes off his sweaty fucking glove, and he rubber band shoots it in my face, and, like, the sweat off of his hands is on my face, and I just, like, my eyes widen, and I, like, see red, and I, like, can't help anything I'm doing at that moment, and I pick up my bottle of water, and I just start fucking, like, throwing my bottle of water on him. He starts throwing beer on me. I was like, guess what? I had a beer in my hand, fucking...
Let's throw beer.
Yep. And then he threw his bottle at me. I fucking caught it like a G, reared back like I was gonna peg him with it, and, like, dude, that's where his ego just fell.
Just like fell.
It just fell because I caught the bottle and I, like, reared up at him, and he flinched, and he knew, like, damn.
She's gonna kick my
Yep.
ass. I'm so scared.
He felt fucking weak. So then it got into a fight, and he was like, I'll punch you in the face. And, like, so this guy I had barely known was, like, hanging around drinking with us. He was another, like, person on the farm. On another farm, separate from this one. He was just hanging out.
So it's like, so you have, like, Tegrity Farm, and then you have Saskatchewan. I don't know. But there's 2 farms next to each other.
There's yeah, and we had a couple, and this guy was, like, known to be a psycho. Like, he's stabbed a couple people. He has restraining orders. Like, he's a fucking badass.
He's got records.
Right. And so, like, my manager's getting all butthurt, and, like, his ego's just hurt. And he's like, I'll punch you in the face, you fucking, like, manipulative bitch, you know? And whatever. I mean, I was just trying to shake his hand afterwards, but this guy's like, you fucking touch her, I'll get my pistol out and I'll bury you in the back. And I was like, he's got my back, dude.
That's crazy.
This guy's a scrapper, so I'm like, dude, he's gonna have my back.
Yeah.
I almost wanted to punch him, but I'm like,
I want to fight.
I was
know
down
I
to
fight.
fight, dude, but
And that's
yeah,
crazy.
that's my place of employment,
But
so I wasn't trying to do that.
But still, though, you have to kind of, like, you had to establish yourself as, like you've said before,
oh,
like,
dude,
an alpha.
I'm an alpha.
Because if you
Like-
don't, then all of a sudden they walk over you more.
Oh, absolutely.
And they make you feel less like
Yeah,
you
I'm
can't
just
do
too
something.
intelligent to, like, be seen as a beta. Like, no,
It's just
it's just not gonna happen. I'm a fucking alpha.
Really, no.
Yeah.
What else do you like to call yourself? Like alpha, and what else? Dominant?
It's not that I have, like, an ego about it. It's just, like, you're either, like, you know the sayings, like, you're either fucking shark or you're sheep or whatever.
You're either wolves or you're sheep.
Sure.
You're either a pea or a potato. You're either a...
Tomato?
No. You're either a salmon or a guppy. You're either a whale or you're a shark.
You're a lobster with laser beams, or you're a barracuda
Yeah.
with missile seeking.
Yeah. Eyeballs. Either or. You know you got to pick one or the other.
Oh, yeah.
You just can't be in the middle.
Right.
You just can't.
I mean, you can be in the middle, but
No, that doesn't give anybody any perspective to be better than themselves. If you're just in the middle, like,
yeah,
if
that's
you,
true.
because if you're in whatever side, like,
But I told you, dude, I grew up with, like, a bunch of, like, guys. I had to do that all my life.
You're like, I had to be a man.
Literally had to be a man. And now, like, I'm an electrician's assistant. And, like, all I do is work with men on all of those farms, which was for, like, 7 years. Worked with all men. Like, I feel like my voice got deeper because I'm in competition with them.
Like, I had to.
But also, there is actually a study that women who are breadwinners and go out and they're competing in the workforce against men, like, you know, working with men, not against them necessarily, but in competition.
Yeah.
It'll actually produce more testosterone in their bodies, and they'll like start growing beard hair. And I'm just like, dude, am I like getting more testosterone?
Am I trying to fuck somebody up or something?
I don't know.
You're just like,
it's like my voice getting deeper because I'm like producing more testosterone because I'm like the breadwinner.
I don't know. It just feels weird to know that, like,
I don't know.
You're at work and you're just like, who's your boss again? What's his name?
Brennan,
give me a nail. And then they're just like, oh, okay. And then you're just like,
you know, it's a balance.
Thank you.
You know, I had this one girl like come up to me at this festival and she's like, you have the best balance of feminine and masculine energy. It's just, you look really feminine, but I can really get that masculine feeling from you. And I'm like, that just tells me, like, I'd have a great dick if I was a guy. Like, I just have that big dick energy.
Or a really big clitoris.
I would want a really big clitoris.
Yeah, because
like,
it's
wouldn't
like
it be like,
yeah, it's a
you
dominant
orgasm,
thing. Yeah,
like,
it's
super quick,
and it's a dominant thing. You're just like, oh, like, what's up, buddy? I'm just like, holy shit, my dick is not that big.
Some elephantitis.
Yeah, don't say elephantitis because that just makes it look ugly.
That's true.
Yeah, so you have to say something else.
Like it's like a Georgia O'Keeffe's flower.
There you go.
In a painting.
Yeah. Beautiful, sensual.
Beautiful.
Ravaging.
Is it? Never mind.
Something. Come on. It was something you were gonna say about Georgia O'Keeffe.
Well, you know that the whole theory on all of her paintings were that she was painting
vaginas. Yeah, I've heard it. I've seen them.
To represent the feminine energy.
I've jacked off to them. I know. There's like this one
really?
There's this one that looks like a locker.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's kind of hot. But it looks like a locker, but it's not because it's supposed to be
a locker.
Yeah, but it's a vagina.
Like a locker.
Yeah, like that. Like a locker. Like, you know, you lock her.
Dude, you have such an imagination. Like, I'm jealous.
How do you what?
How are you jacking off to a picture of a locker?
It looks like a vagina.
Yeah, but
Georgia O'Keeffe did it.
Well, I'm sorry. Like, if I had like a dick pic to jack off to.
But what kind of dick pic?
Just a dick pic.
That sounds boring. That doesn't sound like jack off material.
And then you're over here telling me like a picture of like something that represents a vagina.
But that looks like a locker.
Right.
It's hot.
I don't know. Like, this takes a lot of imagination for me.
Think about it.
But I mean, that's what grew the imaginations of all of our greatest inventors, is because they had porno magazines.
And they're like, vaginas are everywhere. They're like, or Van Gogh is like, I need a vagina on my ear right now. And that's what happened.
And that's when he showed his lover, or whoever he was in love with, that he could take feminism to the next level.
Oh yeah.
And he really supports her.
I think
her vagina.
He'll
wear it on his head.
That makes sense. I mean, it's how other way do you show love?
I agree.
It's just like.
Have you done that? Have you like pretended to be like super feminist and like social justice warrior to get with a girl?
No.
No.
I look like it.
Dude, you do.
But I don't.
You look like you would wear that fucking pussy hat.
But I don't play it like that. I'm not like, oh, like, oh my god, pansexual. Oh
but you
god.
Support women?
Of course. Like, why would I not support women?
With that dick.
I mean,
why would you not?
Yeah,
I don't know. You could be jealous.
Why would I be jealous of women?
We fucking give birth, dude. We're fucking magical beings. And we can also destroy your life. It happens a lot.
It's like a two-way street. Like, I know you can do it yourself. Well, kind of. Like, you know, you still need insemination somehow or another. But I don't know. You could be like one of those miracle births. We have had a Jesus before.
You know, I looked that up. I don't think there has been.
At all. No such thing as a miracle birth.
No, but I thought there was, and I looked it up, and I don't think there is.
And
I
now,
fact checked that.
and now you're just like, BuzzFeed's right. The Onion is right. I knew it all along.
Well, science will meet up with the Bible one day.
Or just like overshadow it.
That's what I'm saying.
I
the
think
women are producing more testosterone.
That's cool.
And then they're going to be able to inseminate themselves here in a couple generations.
So you don't think men will do something like that? You don't think men are going to be
here
able to?
we fucking go.
See, you're over here trying to.
Are we like going to talk about the pregnant man emoji now too?
I really don't care about the pregnant man emoji, but there are certain animals in the animal kingdom that play the role of the female. That's a male.
Oh my god, what if you guys started growing pouches above your dicks?
Right? Or I just I'm the one that squirts out babies.
Oh my god.
Is that?
No, I think I want to like imagine the pouch.
So, but you still birth it, but I take it.
No.
You're just like, it's not coming out of me at all.
No, you can have that responsibility.
So it comes out of me and I get a pouch. You hear this, everybody?
I feel like the pouch is the best part.
What? Why?
Dude, you could store your phone in there, first of all, like when it's not being used.
First of all, that thing is like filthy gross.
And then, like, if you're gay, you could probably fuck it, let's be honest.
It's a weird angle. It's a weird angle.
People are weird. Have you looked at porn these days?
Yeah, people try to suck their own dick and it looks bad.
Oh yeah.
It looks like kangaroo sex with pouches.
But I mean, yeah, sure. I think evolution could go both ways, but I mean, since we're already the birthing like canal, I would guess that we would be the first one to adapt to birth, like asexually, like birth. Just because we have like all of that.
You probably will. Women
all
would probably be.
What the fuck is it called? All of those organs, already capable of birthing.
Well,
so that would be my guess.
A hermaphrodite-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
But they still have. I know there's another word for it, but it's not.
I also think that I read that more hermaphrodites are being born like than before. And so I'm like, is this evolution?
But I mean, that's even more of how we're fucking up evolution. Like, the whole fallacy thing with plastics, how supposedly it's actually making more feminine men, like feminine.
You mean the gay frogs?
No, like shrinking your taint.
Do you have that problem?
No, I don't. My taint's really long.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I think I could just like give birth by touching women. That's what I do.
Oh my god, that's so touching.
I
don't know why that was so touching. Like, I kind of want to shed a tear a little bit.
It's like, oh my god, there's still hope out there. Oh my god, this guy's walking around getting people pregnant. Anyways.
Perfect.
Yeah, that segue for that.
Fucking perfect. Would you be a seahorse or a kangaroo?
I would be a kangaroo because they.
Or would you be a penguin?
No penguin.
They don't have a pouch, but they do sit on the egg.
And they're just like, oh, I'm a penguin.
I heard.
They're
good.
They're herders. They're over here hurdling shit. This fucking penguin is hurdling shit, and I'm over here trying to hurdle a cow.
I don't know if anybody knows this, but Angel wants to be a professional sheep hurdler.
Hurdler, yeah, you heard it right, folks.
Like, he's super into that shit.
You got me, camera? I've been working 22 years for this position of sheep hurdler, okay? And it's a very difficult job.
Sleep deprivation is a bitch.
It was in a dream of mine where I was literally throwing sheep over hurdles. And I feel like it's possible. I feel like that's the next Winter Olympics.
I thought we were all supposed to be boycotting that. Don't talk about that.
I don't mind the Winter Olympics if it wasn't in China.
Yeah, that's why we're not supposed to be talking about it.
But then again, if you talk like this, like what I'm saying right now, I'm racist because I'm already like, oh, you're racist against China because you don't want to have your Olympics over there.
I care about humans disappearing.
Or how bad their like living conditions are for the athletes. Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, like they have like dorm rooms and stuff like that.
I'm ignoring it because I'm protesting it.
You're sheltering it. You're putting your head in the sand pretty much.
Absolutely. Yeah. But we all need to be doing. It's like the kids in the playground that like bully people. Like, we kind of just need to ignore them and not let them play in our games.
I think we should all stand up and take them down so that they don't do this again.
Dude. Oh, my God.
Dude.
How are you going to make everyone come together and stand up?
You don't need
against
everyone.
China? Like, that's not going to happen. How are you going to get, like, what? I guess there's 13 UN, like, 13 countries in the UN?
13 NATO countries.
Okay, yeah, sure. Like, dude, 13 people are going to decide on one way to take down China, and they're all going to agree.
You never know.
Yeah, I guess we could dream.
Well, we did talk about this before. It's like, isn't it just, unfortunately, even though they have, like, this thing going on, like Ukraine and Russia and China and all this shit, it's still technically the same person in the background of all of this. Like, he's like, yeah, well, fuck yeah, I'm making money off of China and Russia and Ukraine and USA. I'm going to space.
Fuck, dude.
That's pretty much why I feel like that happens.
And also, like, I just feel like everybody's got, like, even me, like, I have these prejudices against, like, the Chinese government and, like, what they've done to their people. But it's like, is the U.S. any better?
But I like how you have the distinction of the two. Like, you automatically said the Chinese government. There's so many times where people just try to say how oppressive China is. See, and that's already putting a vague blanket on everybody there.
That's true.
And that sucks because, to be fair, like, those
Chinese people are fucking regular, normal people that just want to live their lives.
Trying to live what they know is right.
Yeah, it's all the government's fault. Well, actually, they're just puppets. But, I mean, like, it's all money's fault, really. Money's the root of all evil. If you just follow the money, you'll figure it out. That's, like, an important life lesson. And so I have these, like, arguments with my, I guess you would call it a second cousin.
Yeah, like, I think.
Like, it gets blurry when you get into aunts and uncles and then their kids.
That's first cousin.
Brothers and sisters of my grandparents.
Those are second aunties, second cousins. So, yeah, they would be second cousins.
So I fucking nailed that.
So it's like you're... Anyways, go on.
So I'm just in these arguments. I think it was a controversial topic, and I was like trying to get him to understand that what he was supporting was mostly federally funded. And so all of the information that you're going to find published and like readily available for you even in Google searches is going to be biased.
Yeah.
Because the federal funding will be pulled if you like give the public anything against what they want said.
Yeah.
So
like it's kept more of a secret so that these policies and regulations or anything don't get
questioned,
or it's under the radar where
right.
Again, you're just like, oh, like I love Trump's thing where he did the whole something about a security act or whatever, but in the fine print it did say like, hey, you guys gotta release fucking alien documents already, which I think is weird. I honestly, this is my opinion, I honestly fucking feel that we are going to get introduced. Aliens are coming, and they're here, ready. Hold on, no, don't start. I know you're ready.
I'm not. I'm just...
You're ready to contradict everything I'm going to say.
No.
Okay, aliens are coming.
Okay.
We have to get ready for them. So now we've embraced it more to try to, like, what's the word? It's kind of like sugarcoat. So when they do come, it's not going to be as dramatic because they've been giving us little information here and there. And not only that, I heard from a little birdie, also known as a conspiracy theorist, that mostly major movie filmmakers get the basis of their ideas for aliens from the government.
Dude, that's sick.
So when you do see an alien like a predator or like fucking...
Alien.
You don't freak out as much because you've seen it already. But if you haven't seen it and it's something new, it's obviously going to... But we've seen so many adaptations of aliens now that we're just like, Star Trek, you motherfuckers, you got it right. Like, that's how I feel. That's why we've been prepped for so long. And now it's just ramped up to the point where they're probably like, we're almost there, guys. And they're just like, fuck, dude, they're almost here. What are we going to do? We haven't told the people yet. And they're going to freak the fuck out. So they're slowly trying to introduce it.
Dude, I never actually thought about that. I just thought, like, I really, like, think about aliens as already being here and already, like, existing and, like, doing what they do and what they need from the Earth. And they've, like, established what they want the Earth
4.
And 4,
Yeah.
you know. And then like, you know, like True Blood,
Yeah.
they like try to kind of mesh like the vampires and the people together to come together and like be copacetic with one another.
Okay.
I feel like that's more what like the aliens,
And
just
certain-
being familiarized with the aliens are gonna do. Like,
so
they're
you-
over there. We know what they're doing. They're getting like, I think they're probably collecting like rare
Earth
raw
minerals.
yeah,
Yeah.
materials, which I've heard that they're going to start space mining.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what that is.
Yeah, when an asteroid zips by,
Yes.
they extract whatever.
All those raw materials from it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, but couldn't they just do that? Like, if we know we can do that, and we're like not as technologically advanced obviously as aliens.
But I think that's more of a gamble when you do something like that. So you can't really know that, like, holy shit, this asteroid that's zipping by is going to have 70% gold, 7% iron, some plutonium. We don't know what's in the asteroid until we start mining it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if aliens are the kind of the same thing, they're just like, oh, well, this planet is fully a bust of it. Let's just work here, and then if we need to, we'll steal from asteroids. But I think they already know where the abundance of it is. That's why they take from here. Because I heard stories back in the day, too, of, like, aliens coming here just to mine gold for their civilization and then turning humans into slaves because of that. So they're just like, hey, let's make... Supposedly, we were, like, the hominid species of, like, our ancestral background or whatever. We were at one spot. Then that's when the aliens came, and then they made humans. They're like, oh, hey, guys, you guys want a choice? Go into this one or go... This is the story. I hate that it's a story, but it's kind of like...
I love listening to them. I don't know why.
Yeah, it
That's
makes me feel like there's some truth to it. But anyways, once the aliens came, they were just like, they presented 2 caves. One was red and one was blue, something like that. 2 colors. And you would go into the cave, and when you come back out, you'd either be a male or a female, depending on what cave you chose. But not only that, you had people actually learning different tongues. So there was people, because supposedly everyone talked with their mind back then.
Sick.
Makes sense. I mean, you know, there's those.
Well, if you could probably like read microaggressions on people's faces like we do now.
Yeah.
But it was obviously more prominent because that's the only way you could like communicate.
Yeah. So that kind of blurred away from itself too, because people started learning different languages. And now it's even worse because you've heard me say this joke where I'm just like, you can't say what because it sounds like you're a racist. And that's already, where did that divide come from? Like, there shouldn't have been a divide if we're all human beings from the same ancestral, like, you know, where did that divide come from? Anyways.
Well, isn't it environment? Like, what the generations, like through generations in a specific environment, your body adapts. And
I guess it just depends though too, right? Like, if we gone different ways and started adapting in different spots, you'd still have that recognition of your beginning ancestry, right? I would think.
you know, there's a lot of weird stuff mentally with human beings where that can just go into like, you see your origin and you just hate it and you want no one to know about it. I don't know why. That's a thing.
But that's us right now.
I know.
It's scary.
So it's very prevalent. Like, that's probably what happened, right? Like,
yeah, extincts.
okay, like Europe being a part, like our continent's definition in our education system is you have to be surrounded by water. That's what a continent is, right? And so you're going through the continents and you're like, wait, what about Europe? It's connected to Asia. So it's like, wow, they went as far as to go against the definition that they're brainwashing you with to be in a continent, and they're so white privileged, they don't want to call themselves Asians. So they've made their own continent going against their definition. It doesn't make any sense.
It's weird. But it all depends too. Like, I don't know if you adhere to the origin story of where we all came from. So it's like somewhere in Africa.
Yeah.
And then from there, that's where the whole migration thing happened. But if that was the case too, that's still that like singularity point where we all kind of like knew everything, all had the same kind of mind span, and then it turns into what we are now. again, I don't know. Like, this is
I mean, obviously we don't know.
super speculative. Like, again, I fucking
Yeah,
feel
it's
like
just fun.
I feel
It's
like
not.
this is a fucking simulation right now, you know?
So why? Why do you feel like that? Is it quantum physics that like makes you think that?
That and the way that technology's rate of increase happens. So every year, technology will always double in itself every year, no matter what. So if you
I've heard that's alien influence.
might be, or it was alien influence back then, and we just mastered it. Like, you've heard of the whole thing about like how cell phones and microwaves and radar detection kind of came out of the blue because of the
Yeah.
war, like
The Nazis were doing some weird shit, dude.
or they got handed down shit from extraterrestrials. That's a little speculative, but you know, it's cool to
Or
believe
they
in
were
it.
so evil, like demons gave them that information.
See, that's another thing
Because
too.
you've heard about that, like the DMT,
The elves and all that shit. Like, you just trip out on like little elves and gnomes.
There's a book, I can't remember what it was, but my friend was reading it, and like prominent families have been heard, like the ones that control like a lot of the money in the world have been like recorded using DMT in the, what are they, machine elves? And the machine elves will give them technology because they'll go into that DMT space for a really long time.
15 minutes.
Right. And
But-
and they'll get information from there.
Can seem like a lifetime. That's what blows.
Yeah.
That's what blows me away too about like our situation right now. Like, we live a lifetime. Like, we're living this right now. But what's not to say this is the dream of somebody else that's going on? Like, some random side character, he's having a dream, but yet the dream is so complex that it actually builds the life of other people in the dream, and we will never know because our dream, his dream is our life.
But wouldn't that be like God?
No.
Because God's like living through all of us, so it could be like it comparable to him having a dream in each of our spaces all at the same time, because like he's all powerful and shit. It's comparable.
I guess so. I can kind of get what you're saying, especially with the whole, like, one of the things that always freaked me out is how you are never really able to see yourself unless you see a reflection, because you're always in that first person perspective. But yet when you dream, do you put yourself in the first person perspective, or is it more like a third person thing, or is it over the shoulder kind of sense? So like, how does our mechanical, like, sensory work when we are put into this, like, this, where it's just like, again, this is where the quantum thing comes in. It's like, I'm looking forward the whole time and I see everything I want to see, but everything behind me could be whatever I can think of. And that is awesome, but scary at the same time, because then why aren't we trying to make more amazing things, like re-enhance the world or something? I don't know. Just
because we're like pumping everybody with fluoride and making them less imaginative.
nobody knows about that though. They're just like,
And they're pumping them full of chlorine to kill brain cells faster than they already are being killed. I mean, like, people are being straight up poisoned, and we know that. That's why we're not creating more imaginative shit.
you hear that, people? I should not have drank coffee and orange juice. I'm just killing myself.
That's alkalinity. It's a whole different beast.
She gave me this whole spiel. She's like, you're poisoning yourself. I thought you said you were healthy. And I'm just like, I'm gonna die. We got a few people in the comment section. You're awesome. What is that? Delta07 says dope cat shirt. Thank you. And Odin22 says yo yo. Odin, what's up? If you're still watching, thank you for joining. He just said what's up.
I love your little cat shirt.
I like this shirt too, but I like the material. I wish I knew how to print on this like this. Like, how does, because this isn't silkscreen printing. This is another form. I just don't know what it's exactly called.
Oh,
Do you know the different
no,
aspects of printing?
absolutely not.
Because there's like this one too. Like
It's gone.
this stupid shirt. Like, this is like a photo image print.
Dude, that's sick.
This is
America, dude.
this is the guy Zach Abeda that I produce this
Fucking
podcast.
America.
So yeah, he. I have to put this up somewhere in the podcast when he does his podcast. So
Oh,
just like a merch thing for him. And there's also Zach Bennett. Like, his is a little weird too. His is like iron on almost design.
I love that shit. That's sick.
So just some merch that I'm trying to support my comedy friends.
That's so beautiful. Such a supportive group here. If you are going to start stand-up, come to Albuquerque, dude.
That's true, right?
It's a great comedy scene.
And that's so crazy. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard stories about other comedy scenes. Like, you have to pay to do time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like in LA, I bet you do.
Yeah,
New York.
They're like, hey, you want to come on my mic? Well, we'll put you on the list, but you'll be put at the bottom. You want to get some time sooner? Just put $5 in and we'll bump you up sooner. So that's how the comedy promoters make their money, too. So they're just like, hey, open mic tonight. Get on the list. But if you want to move up, give us money. And they do that a lot.
Oh.
So that again leaves an incentive for people like, oh, I don't have any money, but I really want to try to be funny. And then you go to the club, you're there all night, you end up being last on the list, and they're like, hey, we close at 12. We still have 13 more comics. Come next week. But the whole list starts all over again. Yeah. It's so hard for some people in other states.
The world is run by money, isn't it?
It's scary. That's why I like what my dad always told me is like, don't let money control you. You control the money. Which kind of makes sense because I'm never like worried about like, fuck, my fucking bills aren't going to get paid or like that.
Yeah, that's a privilege of not having children young.
That's true. That is true. Because my parents had me when they were young and that's all they did is complain. It's like, we have to buy you toys. Yeah. We have to pay the rent.
I just watch people buy diapers and I'm like, bro, that's like $60 in a week.
They're like,
just on diapers.
Yeah, that's depressing.
That's not anything else. Like
and you know where that ends up? In a landfill.
Yeah.
For a fish to eat. Like, have you ever seen those nature shows where it's just like you see a fish stuck in like a bottle can or something? I'm just like, oh my god, what am I doing? I hate everything. I feel so bad though. Like you see it. Or the oil spill stuff. That shit makes me sick. Like, I'm just like, fuck, man, look at this whole ocean.
That happened to my beach in Florida.
See? That shit's crazy. Like, did they have to do cleanup crews and all that shit?
Dude, it was bad. All of the beaches, beautiful white sand beaches, too. Like, freaking resort-style beaches.
Just
covered in oil, all of like the dead animals washing up on shore.
Yeah, see,
it absolutely destroyed my beach.
Yeah, Odin, thank you for still being here.
So
it's still here. Thank you, Odin. Thanks for joining us. You're awesome. We're just having a conversation about the whales.
God damn it! Yeah, the whales, dude. They're so sick.
Save the whales.
Save the dolphins, dude. Sonar. The military using sonar is just beaching so many of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So wait, are they beaching them because of the sonar that the government's using and it's freaking them out?
Yeah, and it's like it like throws off like their electromagnetic like ability to navigate.
Okay.
And like no tides and stuff, and that's how they beach themselves.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Because you think about it too, that is another undiscovered world. Is just under the ocean. Like that so blows me away. Like, okay, the concept of like underwater caverns. That's not only that, underwater caverns that have air pockets. That's like, how the fuck is there not Atlantis somewhere? Like that blows me away so much. But they're proven. You can actually they do these seismograph tests where they're just like hitting like a metal plate and they're just like, it's all ocean here, but for whatever reason, there's an air pocket in this section. And then it's just so hard to get to because it's like deep. And then it's
if you puncture that air pocket, there's no more air pocket.
That's it. You're just like, life is done.
That's crazy. You know what I was thinking? Like if I was ever to like commit suicide and maybe I had like $1,000 to throw around, I'd go into
that's all it would take. Just $1,000.
No, I'd go into the Bermuda Triangle and see what that shit's about. Dude.
What if it wasn't anything?
Well,
do you think it's something?
Absolutely.
What? Explain to me. What do you think it is?
I think it's an electromagnetic field.
Okay.
And maybe a portal somewhere, dude.
I like the portal thing. I've always been into portals.
I mean, a lot of ships go missing there, so it's like it could be like an electromagnetic field that like just fucking sinks your ship. Like in a whirlpool sort of situation.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I was gonna be like, what does it do? Just like start bending wood? It's like, ah! It's like, no, not the Bermuda Triangle. But then there's speculations of like amazing creatures there too, like that octopus thing is supposedly there.
The giant squid or what?
Yeah, the giant squid, octopus, whatever. Either or. They're both intelligent. Yeah. But he's supposed to be there. Nessie.
He's supposed to be there? How do you know it's a
they? I'm sorry.
I was just thinking like maybe it's a girl.
Maybe it's not either.
No, I'm pretty sure it's probably a female. We're superior. in every
We're
way.
the best. You're like, what's the smartest animal? A female.
Obvious.
Oh, I love that shit.
You know we trick you guys into marrying us.
Yeah,
And we'll take half your shit at the end when you piss us off enough.
I've heard the joke. I get it. I know what I'm getting into.
It's terrible.
But that's another thing that's crazy too. Is like, what is love? We're segueing, baby. We're segueing here. We're going all over. Hey, if you're in the comment section, what do you think about love? Make sure to drop it in there. 555555555. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Dude, you have such a radio voice.
I know. When I used to work at McDonald's, like people would be at the customer like, "Hello, you actually have a very nice voice," and I'm just like, "Thank you very much. Can I take your order, sir?" And I just like in fluctuating certain words and stuff. I don't just like to have a monotone.
That's why you're a good comic.
I try. I'm still
Dude,
mediocre.
Dude, those fucking monotone comments.
Comments. Who's the one hurdles now, huh? Who's the one hurdling now, huh?
Sleep deprivation, okay? Okay, so, like, monotone, no energy comedians, dude. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you ever get a laugh.
I mean, some people do it very well, like Caleb Mulkey.
That's true.
Like, it's the persona of what his jokes are.
That's
if you're trying to
true.
tell a joke that's supposed to be exaggerated, but yet you're just like, penis, then it's not as funny. But Caleb's jokes are slow paced and like if they were meant to say by somebody that's slow.
And he's got good rhythm with it, though, too, I feel like.
Yeah, well,
that he's developed.
And that's a good thing to notice, too.
So,
is how many times he's done those jokes and how firm they are. They're
Right.
so firm that he knows, like, joke, timing, joke, bam, closer.
yeah, when you have monotone jokes and there's no rhythm and no energy, it's like,
It's a win-win.
it's a hard thing.
It's all win-win. It's
No,
like it's like
dude.
being a loser, but you're still doing good. It's like, how am I doing this?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I've just watched them. They bore me, but
so that's probably not an avenue of comedy you're thinking about venturing into?
monotone, energyless a comedian? No.
I think it would be funny. Okay, so you have a joke about being monotone, right? But it would have to be like about sex.
Yes.
And you're just like, oh, some women just over-exaggerate it way too much. I'm truthful. Yeah. Go.
This is amazing.
Oh my God, you're the best.
Oh my God, I was going to say that.
I know, because we've... Oh my God. But yeah, shit like that. So the monotone joke does work in the setting of the joke. And
Right.
you probably
And
do
the rhythm, obviously.
Yeah, and you probably deal with that when you're just like, this guy's monotoning everything he has, and I hear it too. It's kind of ridiculous.
But whatever.
That's why we do comedy, so we find these mistakes and
Yeah.
stuff. Like,
Yeah.
literally, it's intense.
It's intense.
So you obviously know a little bit about some stuff, like the rule of threes. So you kind of started to venture on that.
I've been trying to watch like these YouTube videos with like tips on writing jokes because like I don't have the ability to see a punchline and know it's going to hit yet. Because I've been like writing comedy for like, I want to say a month, only performing it like maybe 3 weeks. But yeah, I don't know what a punchline is. And so people are like, you need to get the comedy Bible.
So
Because there's shit in there, bro.
You don't need the comedy Bible, but you do need to know what creates a punchline. Like the things that make a punchline.
Right.
I wish I had that piece of paper with me from the comedy Bible. But they do have an example of like what your punchline should be in like an example of like exaggeration,
Right.
suspense,
Yeah.
misdirect.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 6 other ones.
And I don't know any of those.
But
I
you
just
know,
know.
you know the concept of them. Like you know what a misdirect is, right?
Right.
You know it's like
Yeah.
this way, take them that way.
Right.
You know what?
I'm not very good at that, but I've seen people do that, and
Yeah.
it fucking hits so hard.
But that's just because your misdirect is kind of like a little fork in the road. Just like,
yeah,
yeah.
it's very nice.
And
It's just very like.
yeah, very
even,
easygoing.
yeah.
You're just like, it's funny, kind of.
But see, yeah, exactly. Like all of my social situation comedy that I do is like in a conversation. So like I make people laugh in conversations I have. So like to me, I know it's funny, and to my friends it's funny, but like I think what you're trying to do is make like the tougher people that don't laugh as easily laugh. and that's an art form.
Okay.
Like, if you're an easy laugh dude, I'm gonna get a laugh out of you. Like,
yeah, and you can tell too.
Yeah.
Like I hate to say it, but you're an easy laugh.
I am such an easy laugh.
And that's just how open-minded your humor is. Like you don't have to dig for a punchline.
No.
You find a little grace in any punchline.
Yeah.
And that's cool. That's cool because that gives you more of like this humorous attitude towards everybody.
Exactly. I don't take anything personal. Like, I can see where you're going in your, like, even if you're just riffing off of like things that you've written down, like I could see where your thought pattern would go and like the funny situation that could come out of that certain thought pattern. So I'm like intuitive. I can like see where you're going and I can laugh at it.
Okay.
Because I've had those personal experiences writing them. I can see where you're going and I know how hard it is to make a killer punchline. So.
Yeah. It's practice.
It is.
And that's the shitty part about it is it's just practice. Everyone hates to admit that line, but it's practice. I hate to say that all the time too. Like I told you, like last night, I wasn't really, really good at guitar till 5 years into it.
Yeah.
5 years? And then I can barely start doing stuff.
Good. Like singing and playing at the same time?
Yeah, or like cool techniques like the tapping or something like that.
Right.
Like that took a long time to develop. And now I feel... That's what I love about the guitar because it like gave me this discipline. So I know like if you want to be good at comedy, dude, you're going to have to do it for a long time, a lot, because look at how good you are at guitar. You can do it with comedy.
So how long have you been doing comedy? Have I asked you that?
Like 3.5 years, almost 4 years.
And like you're going to open mics like as much as you are now?
Yeah.
Like you've just like, really?
Every open mic every week.
Oh my God.
So Monday.
Actually, you weren't there when I did my open mic, so that's not every open mic ever.
Well, the only reason why I didn't go to that show was because of the Gong Show. Because I was like, I had my comedy fix, and it wasn't an open mic; it was an actual showcase. And I was like, yeah, this is what I've been working for a couple of weeks now. So, like, I'll take a break for the rest of the week and then come back strong and get ready for the roast battle.
Nice.
So that's what I'm doing now for this one.
When is the roast battle?
March 16th.
Okay.
So save the date.
I'm fucking super excited about it.
Oh, it's gonna be sick. Do you know about? Have you ever seen those Comedy Central roasts of like celebrities?
Oh yeah.
You know who Jeff Ross is, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be Jeff Ross that night. I'm gonna dress up in the most extravagant suit costume that I have.
Are you gonna hire prostitutes to like hang around you?
No, that's for like roast battle 7. You gotta give me some time.
Okay.
See, because every time I do the roast battle, I'm gonna do a different theme. So this one, I'm going to do I'm not going to tell you. I'm not telling anybody what I'm doing.
Okay.
But for this first one, I got a theme. Very athletic. Doing that first theme. Then the second theme, I'll do something more like cowboyish, like literally a vaquero with the buckles, the spurs,
dude,
everything.
Yes.
And then next roast, I'll do something like a gangster. And next roast, I'll do something like... I'll always put a theme to my roast. Because this is the first time I've ever done the roast battle.
So are you doing your jokes based off of like your character that you're playing? Okay.
No. I'm just doing those jokes, but I'm wearing it to like enhance my persona of like, this guy's funny. Look at how he looks. Ooh. So it's already starting off like he's funny, and then I'm pretty sure I'm gonna throw Isabella off. Like I'm literally just gonna be like, I wish they would do it. I'm pretty sure they won't, but I want them to like dark everything, make everything black, and then just turn on the lights, and then you see me on stage with my costume, and you guys are just like, wow, because everyone is gonna go crazy either because it's funny, because it's cool, or because it's stupid.
Yeah,
like, there's no in between, but I'm gonna get a reaction.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm doing it for.
It fucking takes confidence. I like that.
You have no idea. Until you see it, you are literally... That's
what she said.
If you had any expectation of me, like, hey, he's a badass, he plays guitar. Hey, look at him. He's playing guitar in front of a bunch of people. This is going to put me on top of a fucking pedestal that you never even imagined. You're like, is there a pedestal this high?
He just reached it.
Because he's putting himself up there, and look at him climb like a little monkey.
Are you going to make me start calling you king?
No. Don't call me king.
That's kind of...
Call me Poppy. Odin, what's up? He says, you both sound good. Thank you. Thank you very much. And he says, radio time, show time. Thank you. I always like when they put like those little random comments. And then I didn't listen to them for like an hour. And then I'm like, little money does big money. That's what Odin said. But then it could be like, from a conversation we had like 10 minutes ago, like we were just talking about anal. Like, what does big money spend money? Like, I don't get it. This shit's so funny though. Again, thank you so much, Odin. You're the best. Like, he's probably one of my biggest fans. Like, he's been following me for quite a while.
Are you guys gonna meet in person?
Maybe. I'll always be like, hey buddy, I'm in the San Francisco.
Do you even know where he's from?
Odin, where are you from? If you're from anywhere, put it in the comment section. If you're even real. Like, I don't even know if you're real. No, he's real. We used to game together and stuff too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of do know each other.
Not in real life, but we used to game online.
You guys should meet up, and then I'll film it.
And you'll film it?
Yeah.
I'll just have him. Odin, you want to come on the podcast?
Yes.
Come on the pod. If you're too far away, let me save up some money and I'll buy you a bus ticket or something. I'm not going.
So fancy, dude.
I'm not going
so
for a plane.
fancy.
I can't do a plane. I can't. I actually want to buy a studio space because I feel like this is starting to outgrow itself. So I can just rent out like a little studio and just go there with whoever I have that day.
Dude, that's a really good idea because then you can just like start renting spaces of time to people.
Yeah, they don't have to use my podcast for just my podcast.
Yeah.
They can be like, hey, I'm trying to record some music. Be like, I got a mixing board.
That's how you make money.
Yeah.
That's how those studios make that money. Like,
Yeah.
that's why everybody's like, you don't want to be like the music creator because it takes a lot of creativity and like hard work and discipline. You want to be the producer.
Yeah.
And you want to be the fucking studio owner because those people
Need the money.
rent those spaces for so much money per
Yeah.
hour.
It's crazy.
Like, they'll only give you an hour.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So I think that's something you can capitalize on.
And
And it's fun and you like it.
Yeah, and it's a
So-
good idea. It's not like I don't have like a starting point either. Like, I have like some kind of foothold of how to produce stuff. Like,
Right.
I know how to produce podcasts. I produced 2 podcasts already.
That's
like,
sick.
so imagine if it was just in a studio space where I'm literally like, technically kind of like the 9 to 5 there.
That'd be so
Like,
cool.
just like, let's go to the studio, guys. Get everything
I
situated.
wonder how much it would cost to like start a radio station.
It's actually not that expensive, especially with the way you can get AM transistors and stuff. I mean, yeah, that sounds kind of lame at first. But you got to start somewhere. What are you going to do?
That is
Sirius
true.
XM right away? Like, that will cost you money.
Yeah.
That will really cost
Do you know how much?
It has to be more than like $200 a month.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's like just to have a
Wow.
subscription there. He's from Chicago, he says. And he says I got my butt plugs. Odin, you're the shit. We're so ready for you. We are ready for you. Coming to the studio next.
I think a couple people are ready for him.
A lot of people are. You'd be surprised. That's just the beauty of this podcast. You're just like, hey, come on over.
It's a beauty of having a podcast.
Well, it's if you have a podcast like this. Because I feel that people have other podcasts that are themed, so they kind of are structured into the things they're going to say and what's going to happen on
Right.
that podcast. Like, there's those like, hey, we watch an episode of The Simpsons and then we talk about it on our podcast.
Oh,
Stuff like that.
I didn't even know that was.
There's so many
Yeah.
podcasts out there. I want to do some more Fight Companion podcasts, kind of where like we just put on the UFC and we just talk and watch the UFC.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just like Joe Rogan.
Dude,
I literally want to be Joe Rogan. Like, I'm a comedian.
bro, you're gonna have to start like eating way more protein.
Why? I'm way taller than that short fuck. That guy's like a midget compared
Bro,
to
you're
me.
gonna have to start working out if you're like trying to become Joe Rogan.
I'm trying to become successful like Joe Rogan, not physically demanding like Joe Rogan. And I'm pretty sure he has a
You're gonna
little
have to shave
penis.
your head
And he's got little
Don't
balls.
say that about Joe Rogan.
Don't ever talk about Joe Rogan and his steroid use again.
Did he use steroids?
Yeah,
Oh, he admitted to it.
he has.
Maybe he does have little balls.
I
then.
feel like I'm gonna have to use steroids too when I get older. Like, I want to still have this youthful, energetic attitude. I don't want to be like,
and just be fucking angry all the
my
time.
fucking life sucks, bro. But see, that's where I counteract it with the weed. Just like, yeah, yeah. That's like my dick. Jesus, can you not embarrass me in front of people? It's horrible.
All right, I think we've covered everything we were covering.
Somebody wants to get off my podcast. Did you just hear that, everybody?
No.
She said, we're done here.
No, I'm just saying.
You guys know what to do. You guys know what to do. Hit the Spotify button. Hit the iTunes button. Just follow me anywhere anywhere a podcast is available. This one will be up probably within the next hour or so. I mean, it was live, but you know the rendering process of YouTube and all that shit. It will be up live on all social media platforms. Dulci, would you actually like my friends, my followers, my stalkers to follow you anywhere? Like, you know, get any, you want to handle? You have a handle?
Not at all.
Something you want to promote?
No.
Any shows coming up?
No.
Do you?
I'm actually kind of disappointed in myself for being on a podcast. So I'm not technologically savvy. Like, I'm just not this kind of person. I'm sorry.
You hear this? I had to literally pay her to do this.
No, that was last night.
That was not last night. All right. I am a gentleman
You're
and
right.
a scholar. Okay.
Okay.
We shared a twin bed. Okay.
Dude, 3 hours of sleep. It was.
Is that if that's what you want to call it?
On it, yeah.
If that's what you call what we did.
Yeah, you're right, because I didn't even sleep. I was so uncomfortable. So yeah,
You're
it
just
wasn't
like
even sleep.
You're just like, great. This is a position I'm gonna have for 3 hours.
Okay, so like this guy doesn't have a pillow.
I do have a pillow. It's enough to support my head and my back to stay evenly proportioned.
No, it's not even existent.
You're like,
it's like a folded blanket.
like he's got a sheet.
That's how flat it is.
He's got a sheet on his bed. This is crazy.
I'm not crazy, actually. But people, like, men seem to think that about women that tell the truth.
Yeah, if you're
Like-
talking about my bed like that.
Like if men are truthful, they're like, yeah, I'm just being honest. And then men will be like, yeah, he's just, he's telling the truth. And then women try to, like, bring up concerns that are truthful. And they're like, you're such a bitch.
What a bitch.
Exactly.
It's not that way, though.
It's absolutely that way.
Why would it be that way? You're the one calling me out on that stuff. I just need to better myself so I don't get called out on it. That's it. Get a bigger bed. Sleep longer than 3 hours.
Dude, maybe didn't even sleep 3 hours. This is like sleep deprivation talk.
This is deprivation talk. DTP.
Also
Yeah.
kind of drank a lot last night.
You did
I
kind
don't
of.
know.
You were just like, woo,
I think that's why I'm so fucking, like, no energy.
gloggy.
I'm, like, doing fucking monotone or whatever.
You're just like, I got this.
But also, I don't want to, like, scream into the mic. And, dude, I get really boisterous with my...
That's okay. That's fine. That's what we're here for. You speak your mind. You're MuseMeTV. I'm just kidding. Thanks a lot, Dulci, for coming and hang out with me. I do appreciate it.
I loved it. It was fun.
Well, I do this all the time, so there's always something to talk about. I'm gonna call you back, okay? And you're gonna do it again.
You're gonna call me back?
Yeah, I'll be
you
like,
better fucking call me back.
be like, hey, Dulci.
That's not an option.
I'll be like, Dulci, hey, calling you about the podcast, not about last night. You wanna come on again?
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing to talk about
Last night,
last
I know.
night.
It really wasn't. It was very cute, guys.
It was very fun.
All right, let me camera on me. Listen here, guys. When you are a gentleman, you not only sleep on the corner of the bed, you let her take all the blankets.
A gentleman and a scholar.
With enough proportion that you can cover your feet because it gets cold. This was MuseMeTV, episode 187. I mean, 184. I'm already thinking of random numbers. You guys know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Just follow me anywhere. I swear to God, if you Google MuseMeTV, I'll be one of the first things that pops up. Also starting a new website here soon, guys. MuseMeTV.com. Oh my God, that shit's going to be dope. Like literally all the content will be there. All the shows, everything that's coming up is going to be on there. So be ready for that. MuseMeTV.com/net. I'm just kidding. I actually bought all three of them though. I was like, MuseMeTV.com. Fuck yeah. MuseMeTV.org. Fuck yeah.
That is a solid business plan, sir.
MuseMeTV.net. Fuck yeah. So now I own all three of them.
Dude,
But
fuck yeah.
I was actually pretty pissed though because somebody owned MuseMe.com. I was like, fuck, that's the one I wanted. Because I would have bought all 6 of them. I would have bought those ones and that one.
Are you checking them
Constantly?
constantly?
Yeah. So maybe they'll like subscription will end or something. They're like,
Right.
I didn't have enough money. But I recently, goddamn, I'm trying to get off of this podcast.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Recently, there was a new Facebook page called MuseMe. But it's a clothing brand. And they only have 500 likes. And they were created after mine. So I have all of these to, if I ever have to go to battle, like I'm like, what's up, guys? I fucking created this, and have this. But that's something to be weary about. There's another MuseMe out there. That's why I tell people to Google me, because I'm the first thing that pops up. Not fucking MuseMe clothing. MuseMeTV.
So do you like the clothing?
No, it's like
Ed Hardy shit.
No, it's actually overweight women clothing.
Why is it called MuseMe then?
Maybe like, weren't the muses like annoying women in Greek mythology? Like the ones that were like, ah! They were like sirens, kind of, right? They were like the sirens.
So no, actually, I think you're right. I think it was more of a jester. They just brought them in to entertain. They're a muse.
It was women though. Women were the
They
muse.
were whores then.
You don't have to say that.
They were prostitutes.
Thank you for tuning in to MuseMeTV. I'm just kidding. You guys are awesome. Dulci, thanks again for coming.
I love this.
I really appreciate it.
It was so fun.
We'll be back. I'll be back. I'll have more people on. I'm getting a little Jake Otero on.
Fucking love that guy.
I'm getting Jamar so we can talk shit to him. I'm getting everybody on the podcast. So
Fuck yeah.
guys, be safe, be good. You know what to do. Bye. Goodbye.